along the marshes, islands, and coastal waterways of South Carolina and Georgia. Stories have been passed down for generations. Stories whispered on front porches beneath moss-covered oak trees. Stories told by grandparents as children gathered close before bedtime. Among these tales, none is more feared than the legend of the Boo Hag. The Boo Hag is not simply a ghost. She is not a witch in the way most people imagine. According to Gullah tradition, she is a terrifying spirit that slips through the darkness, searching for sleeping victims. But perhaps even more fascinating is the way the Gullah people learn to protect themselves from her. Look closely at old homes along the coast. Notice the pale blue ceilings on front porches. Notice blue-painted window frames and doors. That color isn't simply decoration. According to tradition, it serves a very specific purpose: to keep the Boo Hag away. Tonight, we explore the mysterious legend of the Boo Hag, the rich traditions of the Gullah people, and the surprising reason so many southern homes are painted blue. To understand the Boo Hag, we must first understand the people who carried this story across generations. The Gullah people are descendants of enslaved Africans who lived primarily along the coastal regions and the islands of South Carolina and Georgia. Because many plantations were isolated by water, traditions remain remarkably intact. Languages, customs, songs, crafts, spiritual beliefs, and folklore survive in ways that were often lost elsewhere. These traditions blended African beliefs with experiences in America, creating a unique and vibrant culture. One of the most enduring legends is that of the Boo Hag. The word hag may sound familiar. In European folklore, a hag was often described as an old witch or frightening woman. But the Boo Hag is something different, much different. According to Gullah stories, a Boo Hag appears human by day. She may seem like an ordinary person. She could be a neighbor, a stranger passing through town, someone you would never suspect. Yet when darkness falls, her true nature emerges, terrifying to behold. By day, she walks among people unnoticed. By night, she begins hunting her victims that are sleeping. The Boo Hag does not usually attack physically. Instead, she steals energy. She rides sleeping victims through the night, draining their strength and leaving them exhausted by morning. Those who experience a Boo Hag attack would awaken feeling unusually tired, unable to move, and sometimes terrified. Modern listeners may recognize similarities to sleep paralysis, a condition in which people awaken unable to move and often sense a frightening presence nearby. Long before medical explanations existed, many cultures created stories to explain these experiences. For the Gullah people, one explanation was the Boo Hag. Imagine lying asleep in your bed. The room is quiet. The night air drifts through an open window. Suddenly you sense something watching you. You try to move. You cannot. You try to speak. No sound comes out. A heavy weight presses against your chest. A presence fills the room. And somewhere in the darkness, the Boo Hag smiles. The stories carried lessons about protection, vigilance, and respect for spiritual forces. Yet, the Boo Hag had weaknesses. And that's where the color blue enters the story. Throughout West and Central Africa, water often held spiritual significance. Many traditions believed evil spirits could not cross water. Blue came to symbolize water, a barrier, a protective boundary, a shield against harmful spirits. According to Gullah tradition, painting parts of home blue could confuse supernatural beings. Spirits approaching the house would mistake the blue color for water. Unable or unwilling to cross it, they would move on. This special shade eventually became known as haint blue. The word haint is derived from haunt and refers to ghosts, spirits, or troublesome supernatural beings. A haint blue porch ceiling was believed to help keep evil spirits away. Blue doors offer protection. Blue window frames created another barrier. The practice became so widespread that it spread beyond Gullah communities into Southern culture as a whole. Many people don't realize the color's deeper history. Hidden beneath that beautiful shade lies centuries of folklore and tradition. A family sits quietly on a porch painted a soft blue. To outsiders, it may seem like ordinary paint. To those who know the old stories, it represents protection, a connection to generations who believed the unseen world was never far away. The Boo Hag legend survived because it spoke to universal fears. Fear of the dark, fear of unseen dangers, fear of waking helpless in the middle of the night. Yet it also offered comfort. If danger existed, protection existed too. A simple color, a simple tradition, a simple act of faith. As years passed, stories of the Buhag spread beyond the sea islands. Writers collected the tales. Folklorists documented them. Historians studied their African roots. What emerged was not merely a ghost story, but a cultural treasure. The Buhag became a symbol of the resilience of Gullah traditions. Despite enormous hardship, generations preserved their stories, language, and beliefs. These legends survived because people valued them enough to pass them on. Today, visitors travel from around the world to learn about Gullah culture. They hear stories of the Buhag. They see blue-painted porches. They discover that folklore often contains deeper truths than we first realize. The Buhag reminds us that stories serve many purposes. They entertain. They educate. They preserve history. And sometimes they help people make sense of experiences they cannot fully explain. So the next time you walk through a southern town and notice a porch ceiling painted pale blue, remember the old legend. Remember the families who sat beneath those porches generations ago. Remember the stories whispered after sunset. And remember the skinless spirit said to roam the darkness, searching for sleeping victims. Because according to the old Gullah tales, the Buhag may still be out there, watching, waiting, searching for an unprotected home. And perhaps that is why so many people continue painting their houses blue, not because they truly believe, but because some traditions are too powerful to forget. And if you enjoyed this journey into Southern folklore, be sure to subscribe for more legends, mysteries, and ghost stories from the American South. Sleep well tonight. And don't forget to check the color of your porch ceiling.